What's going on, everybody? It is me, your boy Gilbert.
And me, Harry.
And again, no Peaky. Unfortunately, he is dealing with adult stuff, but that's okay because you know what? I doubt he would want to watch this anyway. This horrible, horrible movie. What are we doing today, Harrison? What movie are we watching?
We are going to enjoy the cinematic stylings of Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
The fever dream of a movie that I don't. I say that I'm like I think I'm being overly critical about it because there are far worse superhero movies out there than this, but it's like I think there's very little that I think that is going to be remembered fondly about the next hour and a half. We're going to be tearing this movie a new one.
This is the movie that has him dancing in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, Mr. Fantastic
dancing. Yeah. Okay.
he also gets super drunk and starts hitting on like some supermodels. Oh no! So I don't know if you've seen the Thunderbolts movie, but there's a scene in that has very much vibes from like it's when Johnny comes in with all of the Keebler and fucking Ford and whatever. He has all like the sponsorships on his like uniform. They do a similar scene to that in the Thunderbolts of like movie that came out recently.
Okay, I still haven't checked that one out yet. Interesting.
We got Aaron in here. What's going on, Aaron? And actually here, I'm going to put that on the stage. Oh, and then also real quick before we get started, I have to shout out we have a new YouTube member coming in there, DG. So I just want to say thank you for them. And of course,
you are my brother, Anakin. But I had to dick your missus because she wanted it. And my purple wand was throbbing.
So thank you very much, DG. That was for you. And so Harrison, before we'll give people a little bit of time to get their Disney Pluses or DVDs or whatever, however they're going to be possibly watching this with us. So when do you first remember watching this? Like, how old were you when this movie came out? I think it was 2007.
A real long time ago. It wouldn't have been exactly when it came out because I didn't go to see this in theaters. So I have really vague memories of this. So a lot of this is going to be almost like it's brand new to me. It's going to be an odd experience. You know, I remember some things. I remember Sue gazing into the abs of the Silver Surfer to hear exposition, and I remember the Galactus cloud and dancing, and not much else.
The Galactus cloud. I remember they continue the joke with Sue being naked, but she takes on they have the weird thing of Johnny having all the powers and like because he touched the Silver Surfer, he like transfers. I don't know. That's a weird.
Yeah.
Doug Jones was it Doug Jones in the costume?
Yeah, Doug Jones is the actor who plays like the body. But then it's Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah, for the voice, yeah. No, Doug Jones doing the same thing as he did in Hellboy.
Yeah, just except without the hands. You'll very much notice that Norrin Radd does not use a whole lot of his hand movements in this movie.
There's less room for it as the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, I would love that. It's like, I am the Herald of Galactus.
The Herald of Galactus.
And I'm sure we'll talk about the new Fantastic Four movie coming out here in a little bit, next week actually. But so so I guess you want to go ahead and just get it.
So we just got to start rocking on with this.
Indeed. So let me go ahead and bring it up real quick. Share screen, and there we go. So I have the movie started already at 00. So if you guys are ready to go. Let's in 5, 4, 3, 2, press play. And we are off to the races with that good old 20th Century Fox logo. R.I.P. Fox. This is the good old days before Disney literally owned the entire world.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I can't exactly say that I was really happy with everything that Fox was doing. Obviously, the X-Men Fox franchise of movies had some things that were worthwhile, but they also had a lot of missteps in that single franchise, and then everything else that 20th Century Fox did. Was it Fox that was responsible for Daredevil and Elektra?
Yes, I believe so. Yes, like Fox had Daredevil, Elektra. I think they did the Blade movies, or they had the rights to the Blade movies.
They did okay with some of the Blade movies.
I liked the first two. Blade Trinity wasn't great,
Yeah.
despite the Ryan Reynolds of it all. But
Ryan Reynolds can't fix everything.
but yeah, so as far as this movie, I think that you mentioned one of the missteps. I think this is definitely one of their missteps because, like, while this is a cool shot, it's just weird to have like the Galactus cloud thing, and it was really, it's like, let's go ahead and talk about that for a minute. It was a stupid thing there was a stupid decision.
Oh yeah, I think we get a lot of talk within fan communities now about the movie studios disrespecting the source material and changing things they shouldn't have. And I have to say, the stuff that gets changed these days is nothing like what they used to do. Back in this day, they made some real poor choices. Yes, changing Galactus into this cloud thing was such a lack of trust, I think, on the point of the audience. We know Galactus looks kind of dumb, but trust the audience to understand where it's coming from.
Agreed. And trust the audience. I mean, we're talking about a team of a lady who can turn invisible, a guy who's on fire, a rock man, and a rubber man. I'm like, we can allow, for a giant, purple helmeted, space monster, like just let it be cool. Let it be goofy. That's what comic books are.
And it definitely goes to stand of, the people who are excited to go see this are people who have seen all these stupid things already. I watched the Fantastic Four cartoon. I watched the Silver Surfer cartoon back in the day. So I was very prepared to have giant purple Galactus.
Yeah, and I don't know. Do you think it was just a symptom of the 2000s because it was just like the stuff had to be more realistic and like they like the X-Men movies, they didn't have the bright yellow spandex costumes.
What did you expect? Yellow spandex?
Exactly. Like they did all like the biker fetish thing with like the black leather and stuff like that. So I'm like, I don't know. Do you think that was just like a symptom of that time?
I think there was something like it. I think there was definitely an attitude amongst movie studios that a regular audience that wasn't basement dwelling nerds was never going to go see one of these comic book movies. So we had to try and erase the things that made it feel like a comic book.
Yeah, I suppose. I suppose you're right. It's just like you're right. They didn't have faith in us or in audiences or in the masses in general.
Which I think is kind of ludicrous when you consider like the successes that had already happened with superhero movies. 1989's Batman. It's not my favorite Batman movie, but it was a huge hit. It's an incredibly influential movie. And then as that went on, continued to really embrace the comic bookness of it. The only time it turned away from, I think, being a success like that was when Joel Schumacher comes in, and instead of being much more like the comic books, it becomes much more like the Adam West Batman show.
Yeah, no, he definitely tried to. I feel like part of Joel Schumacher's thing was like either inspired or what partially inspired the '90s cartoon Batman. Like he was inspired, but he was trying to make it a live action cartoon.
Yeah. What weirdly, even the cartoon felt far more serious than some of the movies he made. I mean, we had Batman and Robin running around in those cartoons, but I don't remember Robin having such incredible lines like "Holy rusted metal, Batman."
No, you're right. That was definitely Adam Westy. Now to just kind of take it. Oh, yeah, we saw in the credits right there, Doug Jones. I just caught that. But real quick, I just wanted to bring up. Speaking of movies that are inspired by other movies, how do you feel about do you think that the new Fantasy Four is going to be inspired by this or the predecessor to this one at all? Because it seems
doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it to me from what I'm seeing so far. And I think this is possibly a risk for what the MCU is doing. Going in this more 60s stylized version. I think, to be honest, if they're inspired by anything, they're inspired by the best Fantastic Four movie that exists, The Incredibles.
Oh dang! Fucking that's not a bad. That is actually not a bad shout out because that is basically The Incredibles. Basically, is just Fantastic Four.
Yeah, it's it's the best movie that's done this dynamic of they're kind of a family. They're also superheroes.
I want to see them do some shit like this. Like I want to see like comedy, like the comedy of the Thing having to get on a plane and be like, stuck between two people, or like the Human Torch because he doesn't want to be on a plane, he flies next to it. I want to see some comedy or some like clever use of their powers, or like some funny use of their powers like that.
Do you actually think that the Human Torch is having a better time on the outside of the plane? Or is he not just going to at some point realize he's bored? He doesn't have peanuts. He doesn't have an in-flight movie.
I wonder, can he fly faster than a plane? Like, do you think he could
Honestly,
just get
I
there?
don't know.
That's what I'm wondering. Is that could he in theory just get there before any of them?
I mean, potentially, you'd think he could possibly go faster than the plane. I mean, the mass of Johnny Storm is a lot less than a 747. So, like, presumably, like, he can use less energy to go the speed that they're at and could just go faster.
Yeah, and I mean, if he's able to like burn as hot as the sun, I'm like, he could possibly like, I don't know, propel himself in such a way. I don't know. We're trying to do the science of superheroes, and that's just that's a losing game.
It might be. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the significant. Maybe I'm wrong about the age difference, but it looks like there's a big age difference between Reed and Sue here.
Okay, I don't know how. All right, so I have to Google this now. But yeah, I definitely think you're right. I mean, it could just be because of the hair. Oh, and here's the scene I was talking about where he comes in, like they have all the Ray-Ban, Keebler, fucking Ford on there. I shit you not. There's a scene where Red Guardian does that. They walk in as the new Avengers. He's like, check out the new uniform, and he has a fucking like all the different sponsors on there. Let's see. How old is Jessica Alba? She's 44 right now. And then what is this dude's name? I forget who plays Reed.
Yeah, I can't think. British guy, but I can't think of his name right now.
2005. That is played by Ian Grufford. Grufford. I don't know. That dude has a weird ass name. All right, let's see how old he is. He's 51, so he's about 7 years older than she is. So I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, maybe it's because they put the grey temples on him, but it just comes across like he's a professor trying to date his student.
I mean, you don't know when they met in college. He could have been a TA. You have no idea that if he was banging the freshman. Although that said, Reed is also kind of a dork. I feel like that's more of a Johnny move.
I don't know. I mean, like the sort of guys who go after women much younger and much less experienced than them tend to be kind of dorks.
No, fair enough.
They're just, predatory dorks.
No, okay, fair enough. And Reed he is sitting there being like, oh yeah, later on he's talking to the fucking supermodels and he's like doing his like powers and shit, and like, no, he's risen them up and he knows what he's doing. He knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
Reed's a predator. So hashtag Reed's a predator. I think that's what we're landing
on. Release the Baxter Files.
Straight up. Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was on the Epstein Island. Oh man, that's horrible. Speaking of someone who's probably on the Epstein Island, we introduced Victor Von Doom and a comic accurate costume, literally.
Is that a plot? Is that a plot in The Boys? And if it isn't a plot in The Boys, how has it not been?
I'm pretty sure they have a plot in The Boys like that, but it's like the Batman stand-in is like a sexual predator, and he's actually like his bat cave is actually like a sex dungeon. But yeah, no, that's here we go.
Oh,
it's
Reed's
bachelor party. They're not exotic dancers. Well, they could be prostitutes still. Just because they're not exotic dancers doesn't mean they're not gonna bang Reed for money.
I've still paid them to be here, so really, doesn't matter what job title they have.
Yeah, no, that's true. See, I like this because what's his name? Michael Chiklis, I think. He's just having such a fun time being in that costume. You could
just vibing. I like his bowling shirt.
Mhm.
Good evening and welcome to the facts.
Oh, hey. I forget what the actor's name is, but he's the dude. I know him as the guy from the captain from fucking Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, yeah, Andre Brauger. I don't know how you say his last name, but yeah, oh yeah. Rest in peace. Pour one out for the guy.
Yeah, he's such an asshole in this movie.
Have you seen him in The Mist?
Oh yeah. All right. So I vaguely remember. So what was it? What was his role in The Mist? Or was that you're talking about a TV show?
He's the next door neighbor in The Mist, who's like a real asshole, and like convinces a bunch of people to leave the store, and like they find them later that they've been like all tied up by spiders.
Oh yeah. Didn't another group leave the store in that movie, and they actually survived though? I seem to recall that right at the very end, the guy's about to shoot himself. He's out of bullets, and then like a military truck goes by with one of the ladies that left, and was like, "We could go find help." I don't know.
Yeah, that might be the people who stayed in the store. I'm not. I can't exactly remember. Someone else did survive.
We're talking about the wrong movie right now. Oh, we got Hansen here saying happy weekend, all. Long time no see. Hope you're all doing. Yes, indeed, we are, and I hope you're doing well. We just had some, off weeks.
Oh, the woman who left for her kids survived, says Hans.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, you got to loosen up, Reed. How could you become more flexible? How could you stop being so stiff, Reed?
See, I like how he does start getting into it to a point where we're like, dude, gotta pace your walk before you can run, dude. That's how you end up cheating on your wife on your bachelor party.
I think that's one of the things that I find a bit. It makes me question Johnny Storm a bit, because he seems not only like, yeah, I'm not going to be bothered if like my sister's fiance sleeps with another woman on his bachelor party. He's like, nah, I'm encouraging it.
Okay, so fun fact. And I don't think that I think this comic book that I'm about to mention got written after this, but in the comics, like I guess it was Victor Von Doom is going to get married, right? And he like invites the Fantastic Four as an act of peace. He's like, hey, I'm giving up my supervillain ways. I want you guys to come to my wedding as a peace offering. And then Johnny Storm totally fucks his fiance. And then she tells him on the wedding day, and then like it causes Doom to get super pissed off, and it's just so I don't know. I don't think Johnny Storm will be above covering for Reed.
Oh, Johnny, you are such a liability.
Such a bad guy. Oh man,
it is weird to see that actor now that I've watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm like, oh, Captain Holt, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Where's Kevin?
Where's Kevin?
Or Cheddar. How's Cheddar doing?
Let's see. So, yeah, I kind of like, I like, but also hate, like, because I like the actor, but again, he's such just a dickhead throughout this whole movie for no reason. Like he treats, and it's very much like they do an analogy to it later. Of like Reed being like, yeah, I was never on the football field. I was a good little nerd, and now you're asking for like he does this whole thing where he's like shows that he's the bigger man. But yeah, again, I feel like this guy is just like comically an asshole for no reason.
I mean, it's the kind of writing you get for a 2007 superhero movie.
Yeah, but he's like the 80s. He's like the stereotypical 80s bully to me.
Even like with the military uniform, he's like the bullies from Animal House.
Exactly, yeah.
A pledge pin on your uniform.
Yeah, dude, it's been such a long time since I've seen Animal House. The one part I remember from that movie, I remember two parts from that, is him stacking all the food on his tray, and like in the lunchroom. And then I also remember him like spying on the girls, being like, and like, like his eyebrow goes up to the camera. He's just like, yeah. And then he gets a boner and falls off the ladder.
It's a questionable movie for many reasons in this day and age. Like all of the sex comedies, like Animal House and Porky's and everything like that. It all kind of got a lot different when we got older.
American Pie. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I feel like The Breakfast Club is in there.
At least in American Pie, like that, well, I mean, there's that guy who bangs Stifler's mom, but like they're all like the same age. You don't have the sudden reveal of the girl who is now topless on the screen is supposedly 13.
Mm. Oh yeah, no, fair. 80s were a different time.
Yeah, real different time.
Anyway, speaking of sexual assaults, hey, check out Johnny Storm trying to hit on the military chick, and he does that throughout the whole movie. I do like later on when she like goes up to him, he's like, "Hey, did you just wait out there so you could catch me in a towel?" And he starts like steaming. Again, a funny little use of his power.
I think like that would at least be one fun thing if you were Johnny Storm. You just start trying to figure out various other things you could do.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
such like cooking hot pockets in your hand.
Exactly, yeah, like the Jiffy Pop, or I mean, honestly, just for me, like the like snapping your fingers and having a light pop up, I would use that all the time.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah, be the coolest guy like outside of a bar.
Straight like any girl, like anyone got a light? Boom, that's gonna be the coolest fucking thing you could do.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's talk about Victor Von Doom for a second here, because this is the most like doesn't make sense part of the movie. I think is that he goes to the Silver Surfer or whatever, gets hit by a thing of his energy, and instead of having like the same bullshit as Johnny, where he touches people and transfers powers, he just heals. Like I don't understand that at all. Thoughts?
I don't really get what they were trying to go with this, because I mentioned the disrespect of the source material with Galactus, but also the whole multiple powers thing is a big one. Because I'm guessing it's that like they heard about the Super Skrull, and were like, "Oh, that's a big thing in Fantastic Four, where there's this guy and he's got all the powers of the Fantastic Four," and then they're like, "Yeah, but I don't want to have like a green alien in it. Let's just give one of the other guys all the others' powers, so now we don't have to bother, and let's make it like the popular one that everyone likes. We'll do that. Screw this whole thing." Yeah, the inconsistency is one thing. The just bad taste of it is another.
Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense. It's like another thing. So, since you mentioned the Super Skrull thing, I guess that like I feel like, do you think it would have been a better movie had they used the Skrulls rather than Galactus and the Silver Surfer?
I don't know, because even with the Super Skrulls, even if you have the Skrulls, the Super Skrull is a storyline that I think takes development. You have to have had the Skrulls around for a while, and you have to sort of set up all the times they've tried to fight the Fantastic Four and failed, and then they try doing the Super Skrull for it to really make sense. So, like, I don't think it necessarily would have been better. I think I'm fine with them having Galactus. I just think the shoehorning in and then one of them has all of their powers is just kind of dumb.
I mean, putting in Victor Von Doom here too, I think is also dumb, because then he ends up getting the Silver Surfer's like bored and becomes, he becomes like the whatever, like the off Silver Surfer. I don't even know what. It's not quite silver.
The gunmetal gray surfer.
Exactly. I'm just like. Also, I just want to point this out real quick. I love this scene because later on, or in this scene, we have him go. We have Stan Lee show up and be like, "I'm Stan Lee." Okay, yeah, whatever. But no, I'm Stan Lee. I swear. Right here. I love this so much. It implies that Stan Lee is actually, in addition to all the other people in this Marvel universe that are Stan Lee is just an actual guy.
Yeah, there's also just Stan Lee. Is that the same, like, rooftop from Spider-Man 2? Where he drops off Mary Jane?
It very well could be. It would not surprise me if they did do that. Like, because it was just, because this is a famous like filming location, so it would not surprise me at all if they've used this in another Spider-Man or in another Fox property of any sort.
Hans has put in a question. Hans, you've asked about which power of the Fantastic Four would you pick. We discussed this the last time we watched all these movies, so I'm interested to hear what you'd think, Hans. I'm saying Reed Richards' powers because I think they are the most useful in day-to-day life, and the least like they're not going to ruin my life.
And personally, I would say Sue Storm. Like the one I would most want, even though it's inconvenient, is probably gonna be Johnny's. But the one that I think would be like the best would definitely be Sue's. Like being able to turn invisible, having like the force field power. Just like they really like. Yeah, they only use her for sneaking around, but her powers are actually like really versatile if you think about it. So yeah, I mean that right there. I love that she's just like, oh, I have a pimple. You know, I'm gonna bend light around it to make it invisible. I'm like, okay, why not?
Sure thing.
It's like, I mean, I've seen in the comics sometimes where she's like used her like she put a force field in someone's head and like in Deadpool's, but mind you, but it's like she pops his fucking head like a balloon. It's like, damn, dude.
I suppose that's part of it. Is like I guess if you had superpowers, maybe it would be inevitable that you'd end up using them for murder. Whether just like you get pissed off with somebody at some point, or like someone finds out and they're like, government agents turn up and like, okay, we're gonna send you in. You're gonna take out half of the Middle East or whatever they want me to do this time. Whoever's got their oil or their whatever.
I mean, then you become Superman. Ooh, shots at Superman. No, I'm kidding.
I mean,
if you end up with government's being, you become Superman.
But yeah, like I don't know. I think like thinking about just my life, I'm like, yeah, being stretchy could be useful. Could be really handy.
Yeah, no, you could reach across the house to get a roll of toilet paper.
Yeah, just I'd never have to leave the couch or anything. Although it's like my brother once said, like he's like he would love to be able to teleport. He'd love to have the powers to teleport. He said, but he'd just get incredibly fat because he'd just like teleport from the sofa to the fridge.
Fair.
That'd just be it.
So yeah, Han says invisibility. Gonna rob some banks and release some Epstein files. I mean, that'd be useful. I mean, if you wanted to really rob bank, you could also be the Thing. The Thing's powers, you could just literally do whatever you want and no one can stop you.
I suppose, yeah, eventually they'd do something to try and figure out how to stop you. Like, but I suppose if literally no one ever sees you, how are they going to know that it's you?
No, that's a good point. I mean, I feel like thermal cameras make that. They addressed this in Hollow Man. Thermal goggles and shit like that. You could see someone's body heat. So unless the force fields also can mask her body heat, I don't know.
I'd also get concerned about like being invisible could end up being dangerous. Like you would turn invisible to like get into, say, like a bank vault or something, and then because no one knows you're in there, someone just closes it, and now you can't get out because you're on the inside.
You would oh fuck yeah, you die.
Yeah, like you suffocate in there or something. I don't know exactly what, but that's what would concern me.
No, that's a good point. I don't know. Yeah, I guess if you had to come down to it, I mean, so again, if you're looking at that, like the bank vault thing would probably be the Thing because you could just break into bank vaults or break out it, or if need be.
I suppose maybe it would be easier if I was just doing like more low level like scams. If I was like just hanging next to ATMs, just getting everyone's numbers.
Yeah, Hans says, I guess no one ever picks the Thing. Well, the problem with the Thing, Hans, is that you can't turn it off.
Yeah.
Like that's the most inconvenient part of his powers, that he can't turn it off. Because if he could, great, good deal. But yeah, no.
Even with the ones you can turn on and off, it does end up being a bit weird. Like going back to The Boys, there's the guy who's in like the support group, and he's talking about how his girlfriend was that woman who turns to ice.
Mm-hmm.
And she turns to ice while she's on top of him. Yeah, and I'm like,
dick off. I was like, no.
I'd be concerned about doing that. I don't want to set my girlfriend on fire from the inside out. Or like, even just like, I don't want to like sneeze and then find out I've burnt whatever chair I was sitting on.
Oh, that's a good point. What if, like, yeah, like I worry about that with like Reed's power. Like, if he sneezes, does he like expand suddenly and just like out of nowhere?
That would be kind of fun.
He just like standing next to someone, he just goes, Achoo! And he like expands and like throws them like 30 feet.
I suppose that, yeah, actually, I suppose I hadn't thought about it. Like, imagine like if you were like, oh, it's okay. Like, say, like you drop something, it's like, oh, I'll just stretch. Oh, I dropped my phone. It's like on the other side of the crosswalk. Oh, I'll just stretch my hand over to get it, and then a bus comes, and now I'm just being dragged down the street.
Oh god, yeah, that'd be wild. I love how they get. I forget this comedian's name, but the dude, that dude is their pat or preacher or their like priest. Fuck, hang on. Silver Surfer cast.
I'm waiting for it to go back to him now. I'm like, who is it?
Brian Posen, whatever the hell his name is. Yeah, he's a voice actor in a lot of different stuff. You've heard him in a lot of Disney product or in a lot of Disney stuff.
Oh, why not? Yeah, I know that guy. Oh yeah, no, he's pretty cool. I wonder if this is like a weird like Princess Bride reference. Like they get a priest like to sound sort of similar and weird, like who? Thomas Cook? Is that the guy who is the priest in Princess Bride?
I think so. It sounds familiar. Dude, fuck off. Like, that would piss me off so bad if a goddamn helicopter flew up during my... It's like, guys, go fuck yourselves.
Yeah. That's what, like, some people are going to die at my wedding, guys.
It's like, I am not a news story. Well, even though I am. Fuck off. See, the only thing I think is fucked up is, and I understand that this is a movie and that they maybe didn't have the rights or the time, money, or etc. But goddamn it, I feel like they should have like reference to the X-Men being there or like Spider-Man, other superheroes. Because you think for a superhero wedding, you got to have some like famous other superheroes there.
Yeah, like especially if Spider-Man was knocking around, like you think even if Spider-Man was just there to get pictures, but like more discreetly than a fucking helicopter.
I would have killed if it would have killed me if goddamn J. Jonah Jameson, Parker, get a picture.
Get me pictures of Reed Richards.
Get me pictures of Invisible Woman.
Actually, don't bother. We'll fake it.
We'll fake it.
We'll just get a coffee cup hanging on a piece of string. We'll talk about how much Invisible Woman loves Starbucks.
This is why you don't fly helicopters next to a wedding.
Kobe.
Kobe. Oh God, that's horrible. That's a horrible reference. Shame on you. Those helicopter blades are holding up really, really well under like force fields.
Oh damn. It's okay. She couldn't see it coming towards us. She thought she was fine.
Yeah, but you think the loud? I'm just saying, like you think the loud noise and the burst of wind would be enough to be like to let her know to get the fuck out of the way.
Did someone turn on the AC? Did someone turn the AC on?
Oh, that's the okay. I see what you. Yes. Yeah. I thought you were legitimately. I'm like, I don't know. Ask your girlfriend.
I don't have AC. In the UK, no one has air conditioning.
That's right. Well, you're gonna start needing to get some soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a good question. The Silver Surfer just flew through that building, and presumably, if someone's not expecting him to fly through, they got hit by it too. What happens to them? Do they suddenly get the ability to like swap they just swap powers with people suddenly?
Is that how it's working? Just any physical contact with the Silver Surfer? Because I'm pretty sure that's not a thing. I'm pretty sure that's never been a thing with the Silver Surfer.
Like, I don't think that's. Yeah, I've never heard that before, and that's one thing I'm curious about is that because they show the same thing in the trailers for the new Fantastic Four, they show that Johnny's going to be chasing that Silver Surfer again, and he's going to grab onto her board, like be taken up into space, and he's going to fall off. So I'm like, is he going to have some kind of weird like effect happening to him again? By the way, is it just going to be that he, like, I don't know.
You could be right. I don't know. I feel like the internal logic of this movie is really falling down. But I have to say that effect of when he like shifts through the surfboard, I thought was pretty dope.
I mean, the Silver Surfer effects, like everything about that, the CGI, really, I think still really holds up. And I think that the Johnny Storm, like him being on fire, still kind of holds up.
Oh yeah,
but I'm not sure. I'm not so sure about the Reed stuff. I think when Reed stretches, that's where it starts kind of pulling me out of it.
Yeah, I think it's the human skin thing. It's like we know what that looks like, so it's way easy to recognize when it's fake, and when you see it doing strange stuff, you just clock it so much easier. Which again, it'll be interesting to see like what it looks like in an updated version when the new movie comes out. I am sort of, even if these movies aren't great, it's often interesting just to see like technology has advanced since the last one. How is it going to look this time? What are they going to do?
I think the one thing that's weird for me is that in the trailer they show Johnny flying around on fire, but he has a helmet on, and it's like his head is not on fire. I'm like, that's the only thing I think is going to be weird, is it's trying to show that he can control like various parts of his body as on fire.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense.
I guess. I'm just like, I don't know, man. I would just like the idea that Johnny is able to fly through for whatever reason. If he's able to be on fire in space, then goddamn it, just let him be on fire. Let him just be on fire all over his body.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, if he's entirely on fire and speeding, like even just around Earth's atmosphere, it's going to be difficult for him to be breathing, because like all the oxygen is presumably being taken up by the fire. So like, what is he breathing in at that time?
I mean, also we saw him flying as fast as a plane. So like, if he's flying at like 500 miles an hour, how is he breathing at all?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, like those little things that I'm just like, fine. If we can take out the idea that he has to breathe, at normal, like a normal human, then let's just let him be on fire in space. Because fuck it, it's a comic book movie. Oh, he said Silver Surfer. Roll credits.
Some sort of Silver Surfer. Some sort of chrome extreme sportsman.
So you know what? This is another thing I'm not crazy about. I mean, they do this for a lot of superhero movies, but I'm not really crazy with the trope of them being like, I guess he's like some kind of this Batman, or he's a a spider guy. It's like, dude, just let the superhero just name themselves, and if you want to poke fun at the goofiness of it, fine. But it's like, god damn it, like stop the nonsense of like other people naming the hero.
There are something I do love. Some things I love the fact that like the Silver Surfer is an alien from a different planet who's been turned into an immortal, cosmically powered herald of a giant world-eating entity, but like they still know what surfing is. They're like, yeah, man, we still catch waves out here in the galaxy.
It's like, yeah, of course. What else did you do on a board? I'm not gonna be the Silver Skater.
Do you see wheels on this board? No, I'm a surfer, my guy.
I mean, I guess like some hey man, the waves are the language of the waves. That's universal. I learned that from Bodhi in fucking Point Break.
There's nothing more, man. You just need the waves, a puka shell necklace, and some wax on your board.
Yeah, fucking Spicoli. All I need are some tasty waves, a cool buzz, and I'm good. Oh my god. So yeah, but I'm like, I think this was like one of those weird things that they just put in there to add some drama, or to add some like last minute, and then also, yeah, like you said, to do the Super Scroll thing, because this whole thing of like him losing his powers and then also like swapping powers with it, it's so stupid. It doesn't make any sense. And again, it's an excuse for her to have to get naked for
yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, like 13-year-old me, 14-year-old me was like all about, but still.
But also, like, she's just floated up into the air. Like, not like she's not like fired off like a rocket, like how he seems to fly. She just doesn't obey the laws of gravity now that she's on fire.
Mm-hmm. And until she doesn't need to. Yeah, like, that's another thing. We've never actually seen him float. Like, that's a power we've never seen Johnny actually do, is just hover in place. Because every time he takes off, he's actually just flying somewhere, or he's just standing there as a flame man. But yeah, we've never actually seen him able to just like hover somewhere. So that's
maybe weird. It has weird implications, because it's like, so does this suggest that like it's not just that he's like on fire, but maybe like he is now has a completely different like molecular properties? Like maybe he's stopped being carbon and he's now suddenly like literally what a star is made of. He's just like combusting
like helium
or something. Yeah.
That's a crazy idea. Yeah, because like that would mean he has to be lighter than air at like whenever he. Damn, dude. Oh my god. The science of this is ridiculous. Stop trying to be scientific, comic book movies.
Yeah, it's. I remember seeing a YouTube video about some university that did a course that was like the physics of superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed kind of fascinating because the idea was that they would pick a superhero and then they go, right, we have to work out all the science of how any of this would work. And they had a rule of like every superhero was allowed one miracle, so they could break the laws of science for like one thing, and then everything else they had to figure out how it could work within the laws of science.
Yeah, as far as like, I mean, dude, most of these superheroes get like multiple miracles though, because of like if you think about it, because a lot of this stuff, like even if you could explain some stuff, like the idea of him having like Johnny growing hair and then having teeth and a tongue, while all of his other organs are rock solid, like the thing having all those while his other organs are rock solid. It's like, how does that even work? How does your heart pump blood?
Yeah, it's a very good question actually. Yeah, is there blood? Like, do you have veins of crystal in there or something? Like, what is happening?
Like, does your blood turn into mercury or some such?
Oh yeah, like it's all just various minerals.
Yeah, see, I'm just like, I don't, and that too. Okay, so this. Why was he in his board? Why was he inside of his board? What possible reason does he have to ride inside his board?
Sometimes. I don't know. Like that's like having the seats all the way reclined. Like
it's like it just doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. Also, okay, so I'm no lawyer or anything, but I'm pretty sure you could sue the entertainment news company or news like outlet that showed pictures of you being naked in the streets, like. Because they just showed it like, hey, so we saw more of Invisible Woman than we ever thought, like mentioning that, and then talking about Reed Richards. Like Reed Richards dancing in a club, that's one thing, but her being on the street fully naked, I'm like, I don't know, man. I feel like there's a lawsuit in there.
I mean, maybe like, I don't know how it works. I mean, paparazzi like got pictures of a British princess topless and got them published somewhere. So like, you can do all sorts of stuff.
I guess I'm just like maybe it's under I can't reveal my sources kind of bullshit. Like you can't sue someone if you don't know who they are. But damn, dude.
Yeah, maybe something like that. Or I don't know. You get a super injunction to stop anybody talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's something right here is that they start talking about like them breaking up the Fantastic Four and like you want to live a normal life and basically be what's her name, Kate Middleton or whatever the hell, the chick who married the prince.
Oh yeah,
I just want to be I want to be popular and famous, but I also want to be normal. So they talk about them running off and doing that. Do you think that that would matter? Because if a world-ending event, they still have superpowers. Like I always hate these stories in superhero movies with like I gotta quit. I want to go live a normal. I'm like, yeah, but you're not normal. There's gonna be a day when you're gonna see like a mugger or like someone breaking into a car or something, and you're gonna want to go help.
That's one of the things that I kind of like about a lot of Spider-Man stories is that at least with Spider-Man, you get that dilemma out of the way really fast. Like he learns his lesson immediately. You have to do something about it because you can do something about it.
Yeah. Like the great responsibility, with great power comes great responsibility. Like that's like a universal thing, even though it's only Spider-Man's thing. But it's still though. It's like, dude, you're still gonna be superheroes. Like you're still gonna have like powers, and presumably your children will too.
I do find it quite fascinating that there are some stories that have done really interesting things with it. I remember there was a Spider-Man comic about the Rhino trying to retire and trying to just like be a regular person and not be a criminal, but like it was that sort of the comic book sort of version of the Rhino is permanently bonded to the weird suit that he's in so it can never be removed, and he's just like, I just gotta try and exist and live in an apartment somewhere in New York, and Spider-Man's just like, I don't trust you, dude.
See, yeah, so because I'm like, that's my thing is if you have those metahuman powers or like the mutant powers or anything like that, you're not gonna be a normal person. Like I feel like being normal is kind of just out the. You don't have to necessarily be in the public eye, but being normal is just out the window for you.
I mean, like the X-Men universe because of the way mutants work, kind of gives you a solution to that almost. Like, because then any of the X-Men can go, actually, I'm good, I'm done, because there's more mutants. Just go find other guys, and it ends up being more like a job. It's like, maybe it turns into like a weird national service thing. Like, hey, if you're born a mutant, you have to like join the X-Men Corps. You have to do like 2 years minimum. If you do that, they'll pay for your college degree.
Jesus Christ, man! What are we in communist China? Yeah, if you're born with the X gene, you have 2 years mandatory service in the X-Men. Then you can go live in Genosha if you want. It's like, fuck. That'd be I see your point, but that'd be a depressing existence.
Everywhere the surfer goes, 8 days later, the planet dies.
Let's see. So, all right. So I don't know much about astronomy, but I don't know how he knows that. Like, it's always curious to me how he's like, oh shit, oh shit. Hey Harrison, did you jump out?
I dropped out there for a sec. Everything froze up.
Oh crap. So yeah, I was wondering what that was because it went quiet for a second. But okay, so I guess I'll go back to my point. I don't understand much about astronomy, but I don't know how he's just like, oh yeah, so long range scans, we saw that this planet's dead. This planet's dead. I'm like, how the fuck do you know that? Like, I'll admit again, I don't know much about astronomy or how they actually like know that there's planets out there to begin with.
I don't know how you decide that a planet's dead.
Yeah, or how did you know it was alive? Does that imply that Reed knew about alien planets that had life on them?
Or is it like the planet used to show seismic activity, but it doesn't anymore? Like everything stopped moving on that planet? Like, yeah, what classes a planet as dead?
Also, we saw at the very beginning that the Galactus doesn't just like suck the planet dry; he destroys them. So I'm like, shouldn't the planets be gone?
Yeah. Yeah. They just shouldn't exist anymore.
So, all right. So, correct me. This is the Thames, right?
Yes, they're on the Thames.
And isn't that like your guys' water supply for like? Well, maybe not yours particularly, but isn't that like the water supply for like London?
Not exactly. So, like the Thames is important for our water, but it isn't necessarily where we get all our water from. It's more about sort of like wastewater and where it flows.
Okay.
So like I don't think it's like if you poison the Thames, you'd poison all of London or something like that.
Okay, because the reason I ask is because at the end of this scene, like we see like the Silver Surfer digging a hole to the center of the Earth, but it's like the entire Thames gets drained into the planet, and I'm like, so I feel like that's gonna affect you guys pretty bad. Like you can't just drain all of London's water.
Yeah, no, I don't think you can. What time are we on in the movie? I've gotten kind of lost.
We are at about just after the 43-minute mark.
43 minutes, right?
Yeah, it's about 44 now, I believe. Or yeah, 40. All right, so it's 43, 55, 56, 57, 58. There we go.
Nice.
And so yeah, so that's that was my question, is that like also why are the Fantastic Four like in? I like how it implies that that they're the only superheroes in this entire world.
Yeah. I guess it is. It's a strange thing. Maybe it's because of 10 years of the MCU that I expect all superheroes to sort of exist together now. So going back to like how it used to be, where it was much more like, nah, it's just them. You've only got these guys, and then that's all there is.
Yeah, like I guess you're right. That's the MCU syndrome, is that we all just kind of expect, or also kind of the DCU also, is that we kind of expect everything to just be an established universe as opposed to just a one-off. Let's see. Have you played so we got Sean Franklin in here saying, have you played the Fantastic Four and Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer game? Yeah. Have you played either of the video games for those? And I don't think so. No, here let me look them up.
No, I miss those. It does feel weird that we don't exist in that world anymore. We don't have that thing that we used to have back in the day of every movie got a video game.
Yeah, no, dude, that was a weird time, I think, because not every one of them, like, there were some that were good. I think the X-Men, like the X-Men Origins Wolverine one was pretty cool.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah, like a lot of those games were kind of like just they were butt cheeks.
yeah. The X2 video game was good, but it like wasn't a game of the movie. But I did like it quite a lot. It's difficult. It's hard as nails, but I liked it.
Did you know Blade and Blade 2 had a video game? I did not know that.
I know Blade had a video game, and one of the few ones I played is I did have the Ghost Rider video game.
Oh, holy shit. Dude, wow. Yeah, that's definitely PS1. Okay, but yeah, so I didn't realize that they had a game for that. Although that was like, I don't know. I think it was an earlier time because I was young. I was way younger. Well, all right. So what I'm saying is, I think I was way younger, so I didn't have like as ready access to like, oh, this game's coming out, that game's coming out. Check out that. Now like with like social media and things like that, it's so much easier to figure out that the newest whatever Assassin's Creed is going to be coming out next month.
Oh yeah. And with the way gaming used to be, I was talking about this the other day about like how I remember getting pre-owned games used to be so damn cheap. Like like in the PS2 era, it was just like I'd buy another video game for like a couple of quid every week because you could just show up and go, what costs a £5 or less, and then you just look through and like, okay, cool, I guess I'm playing this.
Yeah, they don't have that no more. Now it's just it's Switch games, PS5, and Xbox One X, and that's it. And there's no more like pre-owned fucking bin or $5 or less bins.
The pre-owns are way harder to get hold of. Like, to use GameFly.
I haven't heard that name in a long time. Is the GameFly still even around? That was like Netflix for video games.
Oh.
Yeah, because what you do is you'd get sent a couple of games every month. You'd have to send them back. Like there was no like no return time, and as soon as you send them back, you got another one on your list, and they do that every like month or some such.
That actually sounds kind of dope. That's quite cool.
Okay, this whole thing stupid. R.I.P. this actor, but this whole thing is stupid. You're trusting Victor Von Doom. It's like you're on his side. The general's a dumbass because he's stupid. That's although they do this trope in the MCU as well with Spider-Man. He ends up helping all the bad guys in Spider-Man No Way Home. So
yeah, I suppose, but I don't know. I feel like it works way better in No Way Home. Like partly because like the villains for a while like all seem to have a good reason to be like, oh yeah, we should change because we were all just about to die, and then we got sent here. That's the worst way to put out that dart.
You're on it. Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. Also, again, I like how they're like. I feel like it's just because they wanted to get somewhere other than New York, but I like how they're just hanging out in a British tavern just because it's like fuck it, we're
a tavern. They're in a pub.
A pub, a tavern. Well, so what is the difference?
The taverns don't really exist anymore. Taverns like a medieval place where you go for ale and Malmsey wine and perhaps a room above the building. Like,
I mean,
that's
stable my horses while I am here on the road.
Maybe that's an American thing because whenever we have like a British thing, we either call it a pub or a tavern.
Yeah, no, they're just pubs.
Oh, well. Then apparently there's a number of bars here that are named incorrectly.
There's technically a thing called a free house, which I think is supposedly slightly different from a pub, but looks exactly the same and functions exactly the same as a pub.
It's all just British words to see. I don't know. It's like for all I know, you like they're all just inns or taverns or pubs or what. It's all just the same word to me. Just with a
you
British
do get
accent.
some places that call themselves like an inn sometimes, but I mean, again, they're just pubs.
We got Alex Neffen here saying Alba is so hot. Yes, indeed she is, and you can see that. I like how like there's never a part where she is. Well, I wouldn't expect her to be because it's it's not Jessica Alba. But there's never a part in this movie where I would say that Sue Storm is frumpy or in any way like not like she is dressed to the nines literally at every point in this movie until except for the points where she's naked.
I think that's my one thing. She's never like casual. It's always, and I think that's one of the things that feels weird about it is that, I mean, it's not like the other guys are ugly or anything like that. Like, you know, it's still Chris Evans,
And
Ian
this dude.
Owen, the man whose name we can't remember. He looks fine. He looks good for you know, like a middle-aged British man. But like, then they just kind of look like dudes, and then just Jessica Alba is like, "Hi, I am, you know, superstar and like glamour model Jessica Alba." I'm like, "Oh yeah, hi, Jess."
Yeah, see, I'm like, I right there with you. It's like all the other guys are just normal. They're looking like normal dudes, even though they, yeah, like you said, Chris Evans, that dude, the guy who is now, this guy right here on screen, like, but she's the only one who actually looks like she's putting like significant effort into her looks, and I'm like, I feel like that's for, you know, duh. It's like who are the main? It's 2007. Who are the main audiences of this movie?
I think one of the things I find a bit weird as well is that Jessica Alba's hair changes like every scene, even when there hasn't been any time between the scenes. Like she's got the same like outfit on, but she's like changed her hair.
No, she actually has a different outfit on right now, and her hair has changed. But it presumably has only been like a couple of hours. Like,
yeah,
her hair was now up, and she's in a different dress. I'm like, wait, what? I just noticed that right as you were saying. I'm like, wait a minute, why did she look different in this scene?
Oh yeah, she like jeans on now or something. I don't know what you're doing, Jessica Alba.
A minute ago, she had like a super sexy dress on, and now she has like, and not to say that she's not hot, but it's like, dude, it's like she's like, why did she like?
I am slightly questioning the sleeveless turtleneck that she appears to be wearing. What is that for?
Because the wardrobe wanted to have her do like 8 different costume changes.
Oh, Hans has brought up something that God, I do remember something about that. But the CGI'd her tears and crying for the wedding. Yeah, because I remember hearing a thing of the director kept telling her to like cry pretty, and that she was too ugly when she was crying.
Cry pretty. What the fuck does that even mean? Cry pretty. Oh, you're so ugly when you cry. Like that is such an 2000s fucking thing to be like because you would never hear that complaint today from. It's like, oh yeah, you're not crying attractive enough. Or like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what is this? 1966?
I like that a lot. 1966.
We called it Dickety because the Kaiser took 20. Yeah, no, that's it's a Simpsons reference right there.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway. That's good. It's nonsense.
For some reason, every single setting in this movie feels like a setting from a different movie. Like they showed that like shot over the pines, and I was like, "Oh, it's X-Men 2."
Yeah,
like Wolverine's going to ride by on his bike, and he's looking for whatever Trask did to him.
I was absolutely going to say, yeah, this feels like X-Men 2 or X-Men 3 when he goes and tries to get Jean back from like Magneto's compound. This is like the same forest. I'm like, yeah, no, I think that's it's the same thing. It's that they had a certain like Fox had the rights to a certain amount of filming locations, and they just wanted to use them all.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're doubling up. We might as well go there as well.
It's our sequel. We got an hour and a half to do this thing. Fuck it. Let's film in as many locations as possible because New York is just boring. Oh, here we go with Reed show. It's a dick measuring contest. Little did this guy realize that Reed could stretch. I'm just gonna let that one hang in the air.
You would do some stuff though, like there definitely would be some things where like if I had to like go deal with somebody and I had Reed's powers, I'd just get taller. Like, you know, like, yeah, I just start getting, and
Make
like,
yourself do. You could
Yeah.
you could literally stretch all your body parts and just be like, and like that would be kind of awesome.
yeah, it's like again, like that great scene in The Incredibles where Helen and Bob are having an argument.
Yeah, and she gets taller than him when she's yelling at. I know exactly what you're talking about. I love that.
Yeah, it's a great man. It's like what you do in any confrontation, like be it like a fight in a bar or like just like bad customer service. Just be like, "Excuse me," and then just start growing.
Just yeah, superimpose over that. It's like, yeah, no, that's. I think I might change my answer. Reed's power. Reed's power would be the most fun.
At the very least, you could have an incredible time messing with people. I absolutely would spend Halloween just being Slender Man. Like the weeks leading up to Halloween, I just start like stretching and walking around the streets at night, like just becoming a cryptid on the internet.
Oh, I like Hans's question. He says, "If Elastigirl can stretch as well in The Incredibles, did she have a painless?" I feel like they just kind of walked out. She can
maybe, yeah.
Actively control. If she can control parts of her body, then yeah, she could just do either that or the doctors would just go like a cartoon.
Yeah, presumably, yeah. Like you could do something like that.
What's her status?
This is always a difficult thing when we're doing these watch throughs because we want to talk to each other, but I always end up a bit lost. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing in this movie right now? Why are they here?
If I remember correctly, I think they're trying to like set up like a force field or something to catch. Like they have to separate him from his board. Like that was what they're trying to like. Yeah, they're trying to set up these like weird sensors that are gonna like fuck with his energy to knock him off his board because the board is what creates his like power.
This has a weird energy to the Slimer scene from the first Ghostbusters movie.
See, I feel like so famously Namor is the one who like hits on Sue Storm, but I feel like they kind of try to imply that she was like kind of into him or she had a thing with him.
I mean, to be fair, like her relationship with Reed is kind of like the relationship that Robin Williams had in Flubber. Like he's just kind of useless, and you shouldn't be marrying this man.
Yeah, no, you're way out of his league. Like you
yeah, like you could do a lot better, and you have superpowers. Like get on Tinder, my girl.
Or go ride the boat, ride the Silver Surfer. Go ride the wave.
I mean, the only thing with that is just like, I don't know, you don't know what will happen afterwards because apparently, if you touch him, you start changing your cosmic structure or whatever. So, I don't know what STDs you get off the Chrome Man from outer space.
Also, I mean, not that it matters, but I really hope that he's wearing a suit because otherwise he's like basically a Ken doll. Like he's smooth down there, so maybe that wouldn't be the best relationship,
I learned that I had to put the dong away. I used to ride out with it flying in the wind, but people didn't like it. They didn't take to it very well.
They kept calling me Dr. Manhattan. Nah, but so they turn on a force field and like knock him off his board. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Again, I don't get a whole lot of this. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, and I wonder if they're going to be using any kind of like bullshit like this in the new one.
Oh my goodness, he's less shiny.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
polish him. We need to buff him.
I guess that's again. I wonder if that's just because they ran out of money and they're just like, you know what, fuck it. We just need to have him in a physical suit for a minute. Like I wonder how expensive it is to make a silver like mirror man.
Yeah, it's probably a huge pain in the ass at the very least. Again, especially for 2007.
Exactly, like that whole scene where she's like standing there and she's like reflecting in his chest. That must have broke their budget like massively. Oh, now here come all the generic military guys.
So what? Just like, okay, cool. Take him to Hoth.
Yeah, no, I guess that it. I wonder. I doubt that it's on location. I feel like this has got to be on like a studio or like a set or something. There's
Oh,
no
yeah.
way no way they're actually in Russia.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, they're just on a soundstage somewhere having like, I don't know, asbestos dropped on them or whatever they make that snow out of.
Hmm. So, we got John early in here. I heard David Zaslav and the Warner CEO canceled J.J. Abrams' Black Superman for being too woke. I know nothing about that. Maybe that's true. We'll see if James Gunn comes along with something else. I don't know.
I don't know. People seem to be a bit weird about looking at superheroes and then making strange accusations for the superheroes being exactly the same as they've been for the last 50 years.
Yeah. People just seem to have a weird thing about black superheroes. I don't know if that's.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. There's nothing about Superman that requires him to be any race. So presumably Superman could be any race you want and it would still be Superman.
And if it really bugs you that much, just make him someone other than Kal-El. He can still be Superman, still have the same origin story, still same thing. It's just someone other than Kal-El got sent to Earth. Fuck it, dude. If it bugs you that much, change his name. But I don't see what the problem is. Is it's a dumb thing.
I also kind of I've always found it interesting the concept of like something being too woke, whereas like it seems more like it's like we just don't want to deal with the hassle of what some assholes will do online based on this.
Yeah, or the kind of petitions or bullshit they're going to start, or the kind of thing they're going to do.
I don't want to hear Tucker Carlson's hot take on my movie. Like, I can't be bothered to deal with that.
I do not care that Fox News thinks Superman is too woke. Is Superman too? You know what? Fuck them, dude. Maybe it's not too woke. Maybe you're just a bad person. That's I hate to be that guy, but maybe that's how it goes. Maybe it's Superman's not too woke. Maybe you just don't get it.
Maybe there's something more important happening in the news right now, Fox, that maybe you should be covering.
Yeah, I mean, but that was a thing. Apparently, people were talking about how Superman, this new Superman movie, is pro or anti-Israel or some. I don't know. I saw it. I didn't really catch those kind of vibes, and I didn't really care to look for them.
You didn't come away going I really understand the impact of the US foreign policy in the Middle East now. Thank you, Superman. You really taught me what the regime of Benjamin Netanyahu has done in the country in the last 20 years. Exactly. I now understand.
Yeah, see, truth, justice, the American way. I get it now. It's no, dude. I came away from it being it was okay. It was a movie.
Crypto the Superdog really explained to me how power struggles within the Middle East have really shaped the landscape right now.
Yes, he did. Yeah, dude, that guy is a regular fucking Peabody. Yeah, fuck yeah. I love how you got the reference.
I just about get that reference because I've seen it referenced in other things. I don't know anything about Peabody and Sherman.
Yeah, Mr. Sherman. Peabody and Sherman.
Yeah. I know about it from Simpsons references of it.
Yeah, no, it's a smart dog teaches the little kid about history.
They go through time or something.
Yeah, they time travel. Yeah. Superman can time travel. Fucking, he did it.
Fucking everyone in DC can time travel.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll do a Superman review somewhere down the line, or we'll talk about. I don't know. Maybe if you end up seeing it, because it's meh. It's all right.
There was an idea that we had years ago of we just go through, all of DC villains or DC characters, and I just try and guess what they are just from just seeing an image of them.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, we should. Okay, you know what? We can do that next week instead. I love that idea.
Because I was talking to somebody about this the other day. The problem I have with DC is I feel like DC, I think Marvel, does a very good job of balancing the dumb stuff of superheroes and comic books, but makes it feel like, you care about the story and you want to know what's going on. It doesn't feel too stupid to bring you out of it. DC doesn't give a fuck. DC will do the dumbest, lamest shit and treat it like it's fucking gospel. You cannot look at me and say one of our most famous properties has the mortal villain of Reverse Flash and act like that's just fine and it's normal, and that they both are like minions of the Speed Force. It's the dumbest shit.
Yeah, it's yeah, I agree. There's a lot of dumb things that happen in DC that just everyone fucking eats up like it's. I think the dumbest thing is that the original Green Lantern was weak to wood.
Yes,
or literally just the color yellow.
The color yellow, yeah.
It's like, dude, what the fuck? So I just have to give you I can throw a banana at you and you're gonna fall over dead.
But there are some things that I do find interesting. I'm fascinated by the thing of like I find that the fact that there's loads of Green Lanterns interesting. So one of the reasons I do kind of want to see the movie is I don't know anything about this Green Lantern that's being played by the man that James Gunn always puts in movies.
Yeah, Guy Gardner. Yeah, that was so. Yeah, Nathan Fillion is playing Guy Gardner. That's actually surprisingly good, and I think we can talk about it at a later date. But I think it works to the movie's strength using like an obscure one, a Green Lantern like that, as opposed to like Hal Jordan or John Stewart.
Yeah, and I think that James Gunn has shown he's very good at doing that, at taking the obscure stuff from comic books and making it work. So yeah, no. I do still want to see it. I just forgot that it came out.
Well, definitely check it out. It's worth a watch. I think that Nicholas Hoult does a good job as Lex Luthor.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
David Cornsweet, Cornsweet. He is a good Superman. Like everyone they casted, excellent choices. Now let's talk about we got 30 minutes. We got like 25 minutes left of this movie, and it's like I love how it's called Rise of the Silver Surfer, but the Silver Surfer he's only really featured in like maybe 15, 20 minutes of screen time on this hour-and-a-half movie.
Yeah, I feel like fuck all's happened in this movie.
Yeah, like he flies, but he digs a hole in London. They stop the I think the Eye of London, is it called, from falling over?
Yeah, the London Eye. Yeah,
the London Eye from falling over, and then they end up going to the woods. They capture him, and now Victor Von Doom is getting on the board, and that's basically what happens in the movie.
Oh damn, he'd be surfing.
Yep. Oh god, there he goes. He's putting on the
I put my mask on now.
With your comically long leather cape. This is goofy. This is probably the goofiest part of this movie, is that he like he starts controlling the board and like gets on it and becomes the Silver Surfer, but like he's like now the Black Surfer or some such. Because yeah, he dyes the board.
Didn't cancel this for being too woke.
Fucking Victor Von Doom becomes a black man. And then, I'm just going to stop there. I'm just going to end with that. Because then literally...
I was thinking about it because someone mentioned about how we weren't watching a Superman property with Superman coming out so soon. Maybe what we should watch at some point is Steel. We could do a watch party for Steel. I don't know where you can see Steel.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm not sure where you find that, but if we can, let's do it. Bad movie watch. John says the film Superfuzz makes fun of Green Lantern being weak to the color yellow. The cop with superpowers was weak to the color red instead. That's funny. Oh, ouch. But again, see, this is one of those things. That CGI has not held up well. And I really hope that the Pedro Pascal CGI, I hope that the CGI they use for him holds up better.
It is going to be interesting to see, because there are some things where it's hard to think how you stretch out and flatten like a human face and not make it feel like Uncanny Valley or just plain goofy.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get the surfer. He's the only one that understands its power.
Even if we break.
Also, when did they? I guess they were wearing their costumes when they were in the woods. I'm just like, when did they turn in their costumes? I don't remember that. I don't think I ever remember them being in their costumes, and even though they have been for the last half hour of screen time.
Does the Thing always have a little blue sweatband on his wrist, or like a slap bracelet or whatever that is?
I don't think so. I think that's a new thing. Oh,
I love
this. Yeah, there's fucking. That was one thing that was actually kind of cool. Although they do use it as product placement because it's a Dodge. he's just like, oh, the thing has a Hemi, and I remember in the 2000s, like that was a big fucking thing, is a Hemi. I don't know what.
Hemi.
Yeah, it's a thing that Dodge was like. It's a special kind of engine. It's like a really it's like a semi, but it's not. I don't know.
What the hell is
It's
Why would
basically
it
it's a
have
heavy,
a car engine in it? It flies.
yeah, but it's basically was supposed to be like a heavy duty engine that could like haul a lot of shit. And so I think that was what they're. Oh yeah, you got a Hemi in there, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so stupid. Oh, here's Johnny Storm being serious for a second, and she's endeared to that.
Sure. Whatever.
But yeah, you're right. I didn't notice that he has a watch on.
Oh, it's a watch. Oh.
Maybe he controls the car.
I didn't spot it for ages, and I was like, what is that?
So, all right. So I'm curious. How do you think the I guess it's because they spent the money on the costume. They might as well. But like, I think it works better when the thing is wearing a full on uniform as opposed to just wearing like pants. Yeah. See, there he is again. Hemi.
Yeah, maybe. Like I don't know how I feel about it because we've had all levels now. We've got just pants in this movie. We had nothing in Fantastic, and now we've got like a full suit. I think the full suit sort of makes more sense. Like certainly for him just hanging out, like being at the Baxter Building and just sort of not being on a mission. I think I don't know whether the just pants would have looked better if he wasn't a rubber suit.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it was more, CGI, looked a bit more real, looked a bit more like Korg, it might work better.
It's interesting because I know that it is a CGI thing in the next one, and he's constantly wearing like even when he's in his uniform, he's like full on suit as opposed to being in from the waist down.
I mean, I imagine it might be a good idea for just from a VFX standpoint of just you have to cover less ground.
True.
And like you could probably bulk out that suit that the guy's in, and then you only have to start tracking like the hands and face and cover those.
So I want to talk a bit about this car. I think it's a little goofy that it breaks into like 4 pieces. Like there's no reason for it to do that other than for this fight when they break it into 4 pieces to like do different shit.
I mean, that's a thing that happens, like, isn't it? In Fantastic Four, like it can split up into different pieces and move around. It definitely happens in the cartoons, at least.
Okay, maybe it didn't. I just don't remember because that just seems like a goofy thing for only for this fight. Also, Johnny doesn't need to have a seat. I guess that's why he doesn't have one for him. There's like a 2-seater in the middle, but I'm like, yeah, Johnny doesn't need to be in that thing at all because he can fly.
Yeah. Like, at what point does he need to be in that?
Okay, so apparently, so Aaron says that yes, in fact, they did split up in the movie, and John says apparently Tim Story made Jessica Alba regret doing both films because he told her not to act and said for her to just stand around and look pretty. What? Yeah. Well, yeah. That's the 2000s for you, but also, that's a shitty thing because I'm like, I don't know, I like her acting.
Yeah, I mean, yes, Sin City, she's great in that movie. Like, and it absolutely makes sense from what we see in this movie that's what he did, and fits with that thing I'd heard before about him telling her that she cries in an ugly way and he doesn't want her to cry like that.
Mm-hmm. Where are they? Oh God, I think this is Beijing. Or
okay,
not Beijing, like Hong Kong.
So
I don't know. They're in China.
How I know that Russia does share a border with China, but I'm like, along Siberia.
How fast were they flying? Yeah, how fast were they flying to go from Siberia to like downtown Hong Kong?
Because they're not small places.
Yeah.
Famously, China and Russia are rather big countries.
I mean, I would say so. Yes. Oh, Shanghai. No, they're not in Hong Kong. But yeah, based on the architecture that's the buildings, they're in Shanghai, China right now. Okay. So that is. So all right. So let's just do Shanghai to Siberia distance. That is approximately 2,557 miles. That is a long distance for them to fly in a matter of minutes.
I need to find a way to get the board.
She became a sukabab.
And so, all right. So now we're getting to the weird part of the movie where he became. So this is another thing. Yeah, the Galactus thing. We really don't have very much build up for that. It's like this is like the reveal of the monster, and he looks so stupid. And there's been like no build up of how dangerous he is, or there's like Norrin Rad said one thing of like, oh, he's the harbinger, and he is blah 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 blah. But there's not really any like other than that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of sad. Like, that's one of the fun things with Silver Surfer stories or Galactus stories is that the Herald arrives and then does like a big thing of like essentially announcing to the planet, "You're all gonna die. Galactus is gonna come and eat you."
Mm-hmm.
And it's a bit like in Infinity War when the guy turns up and he's children of Thanos. Today is a wonderful day for the Great Titan is going to murder you all.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and so I'm like, and the fact that that Victor Von Doom is like more of a terrifying like thing than that, like they built up that Victor is more of like the threat than than Galactus, which I think is kind of stupid.
Yeah, I do feel like this movie wastes time on stuff.
Like this.
Yeah, like it feels like it feels dumb that if he has all the powers that they have, why does having all the powers in one guy make it better than having 4 people have those powers?
And why is he somehow able to like? So they made it seem like the rest of them kind of had a hard time, or at the very least Sue had a hard time controlling his powers. I like how he doesn't seem to have a hard time controlling any of their powers. Like he's just, adept to all of them.
Yeah, like suddenly having parts of him made out of rock don't impact like his ability to fly. Also, he can control being made out of rock.
I mean, controlling being invisible, and like because it made it seem like again even Sue had to have a learning curve to like figure out how to do that. So this whole thing, it just makes it seem it's a weird thing like end game for Johnny to be just again adept at all of this stuff for no reason.
Also, apparently, are you licensed to drive that crane? Like, Ben, do you know what to do there?
Like, also, how did you get up there so damn fast? Like that's like a big fucking ladder you have to climb up. Like, bro,
you had to get to the top of that building and then get to the top of the crane,
and hope the keys were in it.
Yeah,
which clearly they were. But I'm just saying though, it was like there's a lot of things that went wrong, and then you got down almost immediately faster. It was like, damn, dude.
Also, this thing of Johnny having just the hands being made out of rock, so he looks like a kid with one of those Hulk glove toys. It's just dumb.
Dude. I love those.
Sue isn't dying. Don't try and like fake me out on this. None of us care. You know this movie.
And and John, we were making shit about we were talking shit about Shanghai to Siberia. He says, well, New York to Alcatraz Island in X3. That ain't a short flight either. I mean, I think that's a lot short. You know what? Okay. San Francisco to New York, to Westchester, New York. And that's going to be... Oh, no, that's comparable. That is 2,900 miles. Holy shit.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal.
It's a big world. And yeah, they must have been flying. I like the idea that they were flying at like Mach 3 or like Mach 4 speed, and they were just top down. Like they had no like protection whatsoever from the wind that would have been blasting past their faces.
Yeah, those guys would have frozen.
To say nothing of the fact they would have suffocated.
Yeah, in their topless, apparently Dodge-powered flying car.
Like I watched Top Gun. That shit. You can't fly at those speeds without fucking some like serious shit going. Oh, he's healing her. How nice.
No.
It took away some of his silvery powers.
That's okay.
Another thing that's like, go ahead. I'm sorry.
We'll take him to a body shop and they'll buff that out. It'll be fine.
It's another thing that's really weird. It's like it implies that he has like a finite amount of like silver power. And also, if he could take out Galactus all along, why didn't he do that? It's like he destroyed my planet, or no, that's right. He says he has to do this to keep Galactus from destroying his planet. But it's like, dude, you could have destroyed if Galactus gave you the power to destroy him this whole time. Why didn't you use it?
Yeah, no, that's weird. And this, like, just having it's like Galactus is an afterthought, and I'm like, no, Galactus like has to be your whole thing. You know, like definitely when Thanos died, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if Galactus becomes the new big bad of the MCU. Like, we're going to build up to, we built up to Thanos having the Infinity Glove. Well, you build up to Galactus because he is this incredibly powerful entity that like no one in the galaxy has been able to stop.
I could definitely see that happening. Galactus like destroying, their universe, and then they jump over into the MCU, and he follows them over there. Like, I could definitely see some shit like that going down. Let's just hope that he doesn't have like a fucking domestic violence, charge. Because then we're gonna have to scrap a whole other thing from the MCU.
God damn it! Like the offices of MCU is like, guys, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. What's the good news? I don't know what the good news would be. The bad news is casting P. Diddy as Galactus has gone really badly.
Yeah, no, See, and it's stupid. I feel like in that last moment right there, they were trying to like give you like a slight like Galactus, like right here. I feel like this is them trying to give you like something of like the Celestial, but it's dumb. Because I don't know, you squint at it, it kind of looks like a face.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. Yeah, but even like with it just being the giant cloud thing, like they don't like sell the thing of it's planet wide. Like I need to see like this dark cloud comes over the entire world. Like I want to see cities around the world, and trust me, you can fake that. Team America did it. Like you can fake like just like people in bowler hats, sipping on tea or whatever, look up at the sky, and then you see a bunch of people with cowboy hats, and then that lady with a nice rice paddy hat, like just like look at them and go, oh my goodness, what is that?
Exactly. Yeah, that's one thing I'm worried about as far as the new one is that like Galactus is probably it makes him like he's going to be pretty small, like to the point where he's only walking through like the the city. I'm like we're going to see a silhouette of his shadow, but not across the entire planet. It's not going to be like where the entire world can be held in his hand, which is usually what we see Galactus depicted as.
Yeah, and I've seen loads of things. Like Galactus, like does have a sort of machine component to him. Like I've seen versions of him where these huge like tubes, cables come and latch onto the world, and he's like draining all the life out of it. You can do lots of things with Galactus, and this idea of just cloud, I think, is real. And it can work in some things, like the great big ball of evil in Fifth Element works because Fifth Element is a goofy movie, and like it works for us to go, who's the bad guy? Oh, it's literally just evil. There's nothing else to it.
Yeah, it is the embodiment of evil.
Yeah.
Also, what's his name? Gary Oldman for a minute there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Zorg, Jean-Baptiste, Emmanuel, Zorg. I fucking love Fifth Element.
It's so good. All right, so John says, is the Apes trilogy with Andy Serkis better than the Wesley Snipes Blade trilogy for you? Blade Trinity was a train wreck. I'd say yes. I think the Planet of the Apes reboots. I've watched all three of the ones that involved Andy Serkis, and they're actually really good. I don't think there's any of them that I haven't enjoyed.
I haven't seen them. I think because like I remember when they came out, and I was like, oh Jesus, they're doing Planet of the Apes again. And then everyone said they were really good, and I just sort of didn't care enough to go check them out.
They actually are. They vaguely reference the movies, the original movies, but yeah, like what they really do is just kind of do their own thing, and like it's like it follows the journey of Caesar, and it's just really fucking depressing to watch, like the hardships that he goes through. At least in the first one, I thought it was gonna be dumb too, but I watched them and they're just like so good.
Okay,
maybe someday. What the fuck? So I don't know much about Chinese versus Japanese culture, but this looks like Japan, not China.
Yeah, that looks almost like they're in front of a Tory gate.
It's what I mean. Is that like they're wearing kimonos.
And there's like
Like
sakura
there's
trees.
cherry blossom. Yeah, there's cherry blossom trees around them. I'm like those things, the little like paper. I don't know things that. I'm like this.
Yeah.
This all screams Japan. I feel like the writers forgot halfway through that they weren't in Japan. They were in China.
Also, like like Reed and Ben, they're all in suits, but we've got Jessica Alba in this sort of like geisha like costume.
Mm. Oh, this is funny. Oh, your girlfriend's gonna catch you. So what do you do?
Heads up, Johnny.
This is hilarious, and also this is grounds for an instant breakup. I would love to point out that if your girlfriend's gonna catch the bouquet and you block her from doing it, that is an instant breakup.
That's like both ruining your sister's wedding and being like, not a chance. I do not care about you.
Also, I think that chick was the military girl. I think that chick who almost got the bouquet. I think that was the chick from the military.
Right. Okay. Sure.
I think I can't say for certain, but I'm nice.
This movie sucks. Like fuck this movie.
that was not. Oh shit! There we go. That was not great. I said it at the beginning. It was a fever dream of a movie, but that we gotta watch it because it's not predecessor. Its successor is coming out literally in like 7 days. So we gotta prepare.
I will give the movie this. It is a tight like 90 minutes. Usually when we do the watch alongs, it's a longer stream, but this one was like, nah, 89 minutes. We're getting out of there. We're not doing any more.
Yeah, I feel like they knew that they weren't going to get a third one, so they're just like, "Fuck it, dude. We got an hour and a half. Let's do this." So they used all the locations they could. They did everything they could with Jessica Alba, putting her in every costume change they wanted to, and then they had They paid the money for Lawrence Fishburne to be there, so in a sound booth. But anyway, so yeah, no, I think you're right. If there's one good thing that we said about it, it was a tight 90 minutes, and they didn't waste any time with unnecessary bullshit, or any more unnecessary bullshit than was there. Anyway,
this is a bit of a side off to the side, but particularly the trilogies. I have recently been going through the John Wick movies, and so I finished John Wick 3 recently. Very good movie. I do enjoy it, and I like the thing of Lawrence Fishburne. Like Lawrence Fishburne was in The Matrix, and then was like, I am never working that hard on a movie ever again. And I always like to imagine that, like in the John Wick films, he's just there with Keanu Reeves, going like, "Yeah, but why? Why are you doing this, man? You are 60. What are you doing?"
If you like, okay, so I'm just gonna bring this up then. If you like Lawrence Fishburne, just kind of like being goofy and having just like, I wouldn't say phoning it in, but just being a weird character, you gotta watch Predators, because he shows up in that movie. Ooh. And it's pretty awesome, his character.
Okay, I'll check that out.
I think you'll have fun with it. Fishburne was in Apocalypse Now. Dude started young. Oh shit.
Yeah. He lied about his age to get into that.
He's on the boat. I forgot about that. He's like one of the sergeants or some shit on the boat. Like, yeah. Oh damn. Gotta watch that movie again. But yeah, okay. So
you say you gotta.
No, I got it. It's a good movie. Like,
it is a good movie. It's one of those good movies that can ruin your afternoon, though.
No, it's a depressing movie. It's a hard movie to watch, but it's a good one.
Like your girlfriend comes to see you, and you're just like in a corner, just the horror.
The horror.
I saw a snail crawl along the edge of a straight razor.
Jesus Christ. Fucking apparently Marlon Brando was told he needs to get in really good shape and read like the script and another book to understand his character. Did none of that. So apparently he's like super fat in that movie. That's why all of them are superimposed on his face.
He's like always in shadows. You never see
exactly. Yeah. You can't see that he's just like has this big old beer gut. But anyway, so that was Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. I hope you all enjoyed watching it with us, or watching us witness it again. And yeah, so Harrison, any last thoughts on this movie before we head out?
Yeah, this one I think is best forgotten. I think, like it's sad for those of us who like the character of the Silver Surfer and we don't have a big screen depiction of the Silver Surfer that matches maybe what we grew up with in comics and cartoons. And I know some will be disappointed that we're getting a different Silver Surfer in the new movie because we still haven't had, our one. But I don't know, maybe we'll get something eventually. We'll get something that fits more to the older stories. But yeah, just what if you have to watch the 2000s Fantastic Four, watch the first movie. That one's passable. This one is not worth your time.
Yeah, this one didn't know what it wanted to do. It wasted Galactus. I said at the beginning of this, the best part about it is that they got Lawrence Fishburne to be the voice of the Silver Surfer. But even then, it's like he doesn't do much in the movie. So it's the rise of the Silver Surfer. Is it really? Because it seems more like the fall of the Silver Surfer. He's there for 2 minutes and then dies.
Yeah, pretty much.
But anyway, that has been us. Harrison, you have anything you want to talk about or anything you want to mention before we head out?
No, I'm working on a few things at the moment. I've got some stuff to do for TMNT, and I've got some stuff to do for Star Wars audio comics, and I've got some stuff to do for A-Bomb Radio, and need to get back on the audiobooks. So there's a lot of stuff in the works, and I'll let you know when any of them are ready.
So much voice acting from Harrison, guys. You need to go support. Go listen to them audiobook. Even if you listen to them already, listen to them again. Go listen specifically listen to the parts where he is Splinter in goddamn in the TMNT audio comics. Go just click to the part where it's Splinter, and then you can click off. Let me see. Watch the end of Rise of the Silver Surfer, and then watch Cassandra Nova kill Johnny Storm. Then go watch Deadpool. All right, so I think, and then be on the lookout because I've released a ton of Comic-Con videos, like panels and cosplay videos, and there's another one releasing tomorrow. So there's been so many fucking local cons over the last 2 months. So oh my god. But anyway, yeah, go watch all of those. And then, be on the lookout for a Last Ronin coming out soon, as well as I will get around to the Hard Contact last 2 parts. But yeah, be on the lookout for those. And until next time, I have been Gilbert.
I've been Harry.
And this has been the Fulcrum Entertainment Podcast. Thank you guys all so much for being here. We appreciate all of you. And as always, we are all Fulcrum. Thanks, everybody. We will see you next week.